Quite scary. All right, now moving on. I beg your pardon, a 5-judge bench of the Supreme Court is expected to declare its stand on 3 petitions touching on whether or not Deputy Chief Justice Kalpana Rawal and suspended Judge Justice Philip Tunoi will commence their appeal over their retirement age. Now, the directive expected to be issued by Chief Justice Willy Mutunga will be announced Tuesday afternoon in a matter that could make or break the highest court in the land.
The 5 active judges of the Supreme Court for the better part of Friday would spend hours listening to final submissions from lawyer Feroz Norji on behalf of his client Justice Philip Tunoi over a matter that could set precedents, touching on an appeal to have both Tunoi and Rawal continue serving as judges at the court. The defense counsel for Tunoi raising concern that Chief Justice Willy Mutunga contravened the laid down guidelines when he issued counter orders against a directive earlier issued by Justice Joaquin Dungu to have Rawal and Tunoi's appeal case heard on the 24th of June this year.
This habit should be discouraged because it only goes to confusing and delaying proper prosecution of the proceedings.
The court will now be expected to issue final directives on the matter come Tuesday 2:30 p.m. But that will not be all. Activist Okia Omtata, who hadn't joined himself in the petition, has been pleading his case before the courts over the last week, claiming that Justices Joaquin Dungu, Smokin Wanjala and Willy Mutunga have in the past pronounced their stand on the matter of the retirement age, expressing support for the positions taken by Justice Tunoi and Justice Rawal, and will thus not be in a position to make an objective judgment.
Nothing stops you from hearing everything. Then when determining, you first determine the question of jurisdiction.
The future of this judiciary, it raises such fundamental questions of how any court should act.
This court cannot proceed until you determine Omotata's application.
The defense counsels are also seeking the court to verify whether it has jurisdiction to hear and determine the petition filed by the 2 judges over their age. Should the court determine that the bench does not have jurisdiction, then the matter will collapse and both Tunoi and Rawal will be required by law to exit office. But should it rule that they have jurisdiction, then the Supreme Court will have to hear both Rawal and Tunoi's application until the very end, even as the judicial quorum for the composition of the bench to hear a case hangs in the balance, with Mutunga's anticipated exit just 6 days away. Timothy Otieno, KTN News.